This ends with the middleweight division collapsing under its own weight and a light heavyweight nightmare forming overnight. And if that sentence didn't hit you in the chest, then you're not paying attention. Because what happened in Dubai wasn't a friendly summit moment, it was a silent transfer of power. And now we rewind violently. Because the moment Khabib smiled and calmly said no comeback, the entire MMA world should have realized something bigger was moving behind the curtain, and nah, this can't be real unless you understand how final that sounded. Because when Khabib Nurmagomedov talks about retirement with that level of calm, with zero nostalgia bait, zero hesitation, that's not closure, that's authority. That's a man telling the sport he's done taking from it, and now he's shaping it. And the scary part is he's not lonely. He's surrounded by killers in his gym, killers who spar like world champions for fun. And you don't say that unless you're quietly admitting the next generation is already sharper than the last.
When I see them pictures, well, when you see those pictures, do you ever think, I'd like to get back in the ring one more time?
Get back where?
Pardon?
Octagon? You mean Octagon?
Yes, the Octagon.
No, honestly no, brother. Honestly, I'm about retirement. When I retired, I never think to coming back because it was very clear decision. Very, very clear decision. Of course, sometimes I want to compete with high-level guys, but in my gym, I have best fighters in the world. When I miss some competition, I go to the gym. I can find not only best guys in the division, I can find the best pound-for-pound guys in the world. And of course, I go and compete. This is in my blood. I love this. I love wrestling. I love competition. But going back to the cage, no.
And then he drops the leadership angle, and people gloss over it like it's sentimental, but it's not, it's command. Because the moment he says he became the oldest and had to lead, that's Khabib stepping fully into the role his father once held. And that's terrifying, because Abdulmanap wasn't just a coach, he was an ecosystem. And Khabib saying, "I'm ready," feels like a threat wrapped in respect, and I keep thinking someone underestimated that transition.
Well, I always was youngest, and I do everything what they told me. Because we have rules. In our rules, if you're young, you're always wrong. Right? Who's older, you're always right. There is rules, and you have to follow them. And somehow, like, when I finish my career, I become oldest in my team. I was oldest. It's like, okay, I have to take leadership. Who's gonna take over? Somebody have to lead the team. You cannot just leave them alone. Today I'm become success, I was champion, I was on top, okay, see you guys tomorrow. It doesn't work like this. And I'm like, okay, I look around, like, who's here? Everybody is younger than me. And my father, rahimahullah, he passed away. I'm like, okay, I have to take this leadership, and I have to lead this team, and I have to continue my father's legacy. I understand I'm ready for this. Some people, they are not ready.
When he says there's no freedom of speech in his gym, people laugh. But that's not a joke, that's a doctrine. Because champions don't come from democracy, they come from obedience. And when he says there's no 50-50, that's him telling every fighter under him that hesitation dies at the door, and results don't lie, because champions are everywhere. And that tells me something dangerous is brewing quietly while the rest of the UFC argues online.
But when we come to the gym, when we beginning in our training, and all of them know about this, there is no freedom speech. There is no freedom speech. Everybody do what I say if I'm coach. If I say I'm in or out, there is no 50-50. And I try to push them very well. And if you look at the result, we have in almost every organization, we have champions, and we have some best fighters right now, and we are best team. I'm very happy. It's mean I'm doing good job.
Now flip the page, and suddenly Khamzat Chimaev isn't just a champion, he's a problem nobody can agree on how to solve. Because defending in 2026 sounds normal until you realize he's already talking about leaving the division behind, already staring up at Alex Pereira like a final boss, and that's when the chaos starts. Because Pereira doesn't want him, and when a champion refuses a challenger, narratives explode, egos clash, and nah, someone's lying here.
2 mais 1 igual a 3. Tem cinturão aí um pouco acima da sua categoria que tá numa situação esquisita, né? Tá de olho nele?
Eu falei do meu interesse, né, em estar lutando na categoria dos pesos pesados. Eu não sei, eu falei da Casa Branca com o John Jones. Já tinha falado também de uma luta, né? Até lutar no pesado, o terceiro cinturão. Mas eu não sei, não tá no meu controle, né? Eu tenho, né, as minhas vontades, mas também estou na expectativa, assim como todo mundo.
Khamzat calling Pereira out isn't just trash talk, it's an accusation, because he's saying Alex knows the difference in levels. And that's the kind of sentence that makes locker rooms uncomfortable, because everyone has eyes, everyone understands grappling math, and when Pereira pivots to heavyweight talk, to John Jones, to titles elsewhere, it smells like strategic avoidance, or maybe genius positioning. And I don't know which yet, but I promise you, it matters.
That's good fight for him, good fight for me. Everyone knows that UFC knows that, but UFC don't want to give this guy from me. You know? So, and the guy say, oh, I come to you, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, grappling, I don't know what. This grappling, jiu-jitsu is not our job. Our job UFC fighter, you know. So he said he can't fight with Duplessis. He accept the fight, but now he say like, oh, it's Khamzat not good fight. Yeah, he's saying like he's more famous than me. That's why I'm using his name, bro. This guy, if I just say hi in my story in Instagram, I make more views on his fight. So I don't think so. This guy more famous than me. You know?
Then Anderson Silva steps in, siding with Pereira, and suddenly legacy shields legacy. Because when legends protect strikers, it reframes the threat, and Khamzat brushing off Pereira's power like it's irrelevant is either supreme confidence or catastrophic arrogance. And those two look identical right before history shifts, and I swear this matchup feels like it's being delayed for a reason we don't know yet.
I don't think so. He wants that fight. He knows about it, and UFC know about it. So I can't say the things what UFC says to me, but it's gonna be not respect for Alex, because everyone knows this guy is not my level, you know. So he's a good striker, one of the best strikers. I give the respect for him. He has knockout power and everything. Yeah, but brother, like ask whoever 99% in the world who's watching UFC, so they're gonna tell you who is gonna win.
Ben Askren pokes the wound by reminding everyone of Pereira's ground issues. And that should be simple analysis, but it detonates the conversation, because once you say pressure around Khamzat's name, every striker's highlight reel starts to feel fragile. And Askren's frustration about weight hopping isn't random. It's a warning that nobody wants to commit, because committing means risking exposure.
What about the current middleweight champion, Khamzat Chimaev? What do you make of him and his skill set?
Well, he's a beast. He's an amazing fighter. But I put on my chance in Alex.
Against him if they ever fought.
Yep.
Michael Bisping pours gasoline on it by basically saying this fight isn't happening. And when Bisping sounds definitive, it's because he's reading the room. And the room says Pereira wants the White House card, wants heavyweight glory, wants options, and meanwhile Thomas Bennell is half blind, literally facing double eye surgery. And that alone should terrify the heavyweight division, because recovery timelines rewrite matchmaking overnight.
Если спросить меня, мне, конечно, хочется за второй пояс подраться. Для меня, никому не секрет, тот парень, который сейчас 93, если стойки с ним не заигрываться, для меня очень удобный соперник. Да, все говорят, слишком мощный парень, но где-то в мощи я нигде не уступал никому, поэтому я думаю, он тоже 84 выступал и перешел в 93. Хотелось бы 93 подраться, а так там Насруддина дадут, или Беридера дадут, или Эрнандеса. Мне особой такой разницы нет, чтобы самое главное заплатили хорошо.
Aspinall talking about patience sounds mature until you realize patience is a luxury champions rarely get, because while he heals, others move, others plot, others angle for interim belts, and Bisping floating the idea of Gain versus Pereira for some strange interim scenario feels insane until you remember the UFC thrives on chaos, and I keep thinking someone's planting these ideas early for a reason.
Can present the biggest challenge to him.
Pereira's an interesting match because you still have this image of Israel Adesanya, who is not a takedown expert, taking down and holding down Pereira. So, that's a hard image to shake out of your head when you think, Pereira would have to beat Chimaev. But now Pereira's talking about moving up also. It's like, dude, these guys just find a weight class and then fight a bunch of people. Honestly, that's one reason I was so impressed by Merab this year. Is like, who defends their title that much? It was so impressive, and I know he lost the last one, but his run that he had there was so impressive.
Khamzat refusing Imamov is where this turns ugly, because suddenly culture, religion, brotherhood enter a sport that pretends it's purely competitive. And Bisping snapping back is inevitable, because from his lens, a champion who won't fight stalls a division, and stalled divisions rot and nab. This is bigger than matchmaking. This is about identity and obligation colliding.
It is going to be an insane card from start to finish, and probably the best fight card or the greatest fight card that's ever been assembled going down at the White House. It's insane. Pereira wants to be in that card, and if he doesn't get that, he wants to fight for the heavyweight title. Now, as we know, that's a little bit of a complicated issue right now, because Tom Aspinall had the eye injury where he got double eye poked. Apparently, he's still having issues, and when he does come back, he's got to fight Cyril Gane, okay? Unless, and could you believe this, and it isn't going to happen, it isn't going to happen, they bring in an interim title. They bring in an interim title at heavyweight, and Cyril Gane fights Alex Pereira for an interim title while Tom Aspinall gets his vision back, or he all recovers and all the rest of it. Because there is talk actually down the line that maybe there would be a need for surgery, and I hope that isn't the case, of course.
Imamov explaining his mother's stance hits harder than any trash talk, because now the fight isn't just fists, it's family, it's mountains, it's history, and when he says it'll make noise in the Caucasus, that's not metaphor, that's consequence. And yet the UFC confirming February means the machine doesn't care about discomfort, it only cares about motion.
They probably have had surgery on one side already. The next surgery's coming mid-January, so we're working towards getting back, and that's the plan.
Has there been thoughts of whether you'd be able to fight again?
I'm just thinking about my health at the minute, to be honest. I'm not even thinking about any of that stuff, because you got to like take one step at a time, don't you?
Yeah.
You can't be doing that. Obviously, the plan is to go back and beat the living daylights out of Cyril Gane. That's the plan. But right now, the short-term plan is to get back to where I should be, get back in the...
When Imamov admits the fight is inevitable, despite respect, despite gratitude, despite shared past, that's tragedy baked into sport, and Allen and Pfeiffer breaking down the matchup like it's inevitable domination on the ground just adds pressure, because now Imamov isn't just fighting Khamzat, he's fighting expectations, narratives, and the idea that he's already lost.
There is an anger there, isn't there? I can see. I know you're smiling, and I know that there's, you know, you're your normal self, but there's definitely an anger there towards everything that's happened.
Yeah, I'm ready to get back, but my health's got to be right first. I ain't going to do nothing compromised. I'm not going to let my ego take over. Everything's got to be right. So when the time is right, however that looks, whenever that is, that's the plan.
Khamzat Chimaev went on to say that he doesn't want to fight Nasruddin Imamov, okay, because Imamov is from Dagestan and they're all Muslims, and there'd be a lot of drama and problems and stuff like that.
If you ask me, I don't want to fight this guy because he's like, we know each other.
That shouldn't matter. There's billions of Muslims on the planet. You can say that because you're both Muslim, you can't fight one another. Look, listen, this all needs to stop. The best should be fighting the best. We know that. And of course, the champions, they want to take on the biggest matchups because they want to get the biggest paydays, and I commend them for that. But I've said it many times in the past, you really need to defend the belt in your weight class 3 times before you even think about moving on, or you've got to vacate the belt. You've got to vacate the belt, keep the division moving on, and then you go up to the next division.
How you spent time in the cage with Nasruddin, how real of a chance do you give him in that fight against Chimaev? Because he probably will be an underdog, I would have assumed.
Yeah, I definitely think he has a chance. His striking is good. He's fast. He's pretty quick. But there's not a lot of pop on the punches, to be honest. If Chimaev has good defense, I think he'll be okay there. But I don't know. I think Chimaev will be able to get him down. I think he'll get him down at some point. Imamov's ground isn't really that great. Like he doesn't really do a whole lot, which does make it hard to be offensive when you're just being 100% defensive and you just don't care about anything but not getting finished. It's really hard to get a finish. But I think Chimaev, if he gets him down, can make him work, and I think it'd be a good fight. But I think Chimaev would win.
Dricus du Plessis calling the division unsettled is the understatement of the year, because unsettled means unstable, and unstable divisions produce wild champions, short reigns, shocking outcomes, and when Bilal Muhammad starts talking about Khamzat at heavyweight like it's plausible, that's when you know the walls between divisions are paper thin right now.
Imamov's getting the title shot. I think that's the only thing that really makes sense now is Imamov getting that shot at the belt. But I think it's going to be an interesting fight. I think Khamzat wins that fight for sure. As for myself, like I said, I don't really know. The whole division's been mixed up. When you have Imamov and Kaio fighting, these two guys emerge as potential contenders. The winner there is the contender. Not a great fight, in my opinion. Those two guys stood there, and there was moments of brilliance, make no mistake, and I rated Kaio Bahar. I picked him to win that fight. But it's on the night he just didn't show up. He just didn't show up.
Hamzat saying he doesn't want to fight Imamov. He said one is Chechnya, Dagestan. Obviously, there's history behind that, and they don't want anything serious to happen with that. I know he's calling out Pereira. I mean, I'm excited for either one of those fights, whichever one that happens. What do I think will happen? I mean, if they make the Pereira fight, which I don't think Pereira would do that because he's already talking about going up to 205, but that would leave an opening. I mean, he's going up to heavyweight, so, but that would leave an opening at 205 where it could be Yuri against Chimaev, which I think would be a fun one for sure. I mean, I think Chimaev's wrestling is good enough to go up to heavyweight if he wanted to. You've seen how he picked up John Jones recently in their video. What do I think will happen? I don't know. I don't know if Imamov's come out and said anything yet about it, but like we've seen the history with Khabib's team and Chimaev, and then them shaking up. Like it goes deeper than that. It's understandable for sure.
Well done to Imamov for winning that fight. I mean, he did what he had to do, but yeah, I mean, right now you don't have anybody who's consistently winning. And that's the problem. How do you pick a contender? You have guys that fight two great fights, one terrible one. The consistency isn't there, but there's so many good fighters. It's just a consistency. So glad it's not my job to pick the fights.
And the part that won't let me sleep is this. None of this feels resolved. Not Khabib's leadership, not Khamzat's future, not Pereira's intentions, not Aspinall's recovery, because every calm statement today feels like a lie told politely. And the next update could expose who's been dodging, who's been stalling, and who's about to lose everything when the cage door finally shuts again.